William, thank you so much. When you're talking about this brother and sister of the light, it reminds me the world peace, this project that seems to always be in your heart, you know, because I see the Reiki grid behind you, one of the Reiki grid you have with the inscription. It's written on it, may the followers of all the religion and spiritual paths work together to create peace among all people on earth. Am I right?
That's it. That is correct. Yes, that's what it says.
The same ideas with the
it brings people together. Yeah. So when I made this before we got the holy fire.
Yeah.
But I was told that it's a part of the same flow of energy, and so we made this. The first one is in '97. I made the first peace grid, and I took it and put it to the North Pole, and so I didn't know. I just started meditating. Well, how should this be? What should I say on it? And that's what I came up with. That my idea is when all the religions start working together, then peace will come very quickly to the earth.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times they have been actually against each other, but if they can work together, then their power will be much stronger.
It could be. It's amazing. I want to show you something. It's a surprise for you because I'm so proud and so glad you create your own grid. So I asked an artist to create one for me. I respected your model, and of course, my students are very happy I did this because I talk a lot about yours. So let me show it.
Oh, nice. Oh, that looks very good. Yeah. Wonderful.
We let your English, it's in English. I did not want to translate it so we can connect to you and your amazing. So you can see.
Yes.
Gold.
Nice work. It looks good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Sure.
Yeah. So where are these grids? Can you tell me a little bit about the Reiki grid network? Where are they? These grids?
Yeah. Well, first of all, let me explain how it came into being. And what happened was I heard about someone that went to the North Pole to meditate. I thought, oh, that's so cool. Oh, I want to do that. I want to do it. And so then I read in a National Geographic magazine, there was a group of people going by dog sled to the North Pole, and the man's name was there. So I looked it up, and I got his phone number, and I called him, and I talked to his wife, and she said, oh, he's working on a dog sled, but I'll hand the phone over to him. And so he's getting ready for an expedition. So I talked to him. I said, can I go with you guys to the North Pole? He's being a little bold and said, can I go with you guys? He goes, oh, yeah, sure, you can go. No problem. And I go, what? He says, yeah, you can go. But he said there's an organization and you can sign up with the group and it's going to cost money. I thought it was just for free, but no, it cost money. And so I contacted them and they said, yes, you can go. It's going to cost this much money. And we're going to go to the North Pole and you can go on the trip with us. And so I got all set to go. And then I thought, well, wait a minute. I'm going to the North Pole, but I should do more than, I'm going to meditate up there, but maybe there's something more. So I thought, oh, I could take a crystal. I could put that crystal up at the North Pole. I'm thinking about that. And I thought, I could do something more than that. I thought, well, if I take crystals and hook them together with gold wire, I could put that up there. I thought, no, there's something better than that. Now, I knew a friend who was an artist who works with metal, and he had made a little medallion, like a spiritual medallion for me once. And so I went over to him, and that's when we started designing the World Peace Crystal Grid.
Okay.
And so basically, we've got these printed up too, on laminated. But so you can see how big it is. It's about the same size as this.
Okay.
And so they're made of solid copper, and then it's got nickel plating on top of the copper to protect it, because the copper can corrode very easily, but nickel will protect it. So a thick plating of nickel. On top of that is 24 karat gold.
Okay. Okay. Oh, yeah. Oh.
Yeah. And then there are 12 petals.
Yeah.
And so this is the heart chakra. The heart chakra has 12 petals. So I made it like the heart chakra. Yeah. And then each of the crystals, these are double terminated, meaning they naturally have double points on them. They're held in place with gold wire all the way around. The central crystal was specially created by a jeweler, a gem cutter, and he cut with 12 facets like a pyramid with 12 facets. So each facet points out to each of the petals. Oh. This one is held in place by gold wire. And then the inscription is the same as what you said. May the followers of all the world's religions and spiritual paths work together, create peace among all people on earth. It's the same inscription. And then these are the symbols for the major religions of the world going around here. Yep. And there's one also for independent spiritual paths and also the goddess religions. And there's one for all others. You know, if we forgot some, you know, that's to, you know, for everybody else. And so that's how it was made. And so I had that, and then I took it with me. I was teaching in England, and I went to Stonehenge, and I put it next to the stones, asking the stones to charge it up. And I had my class charge it up, and then a Karuna class had charge it up. And then I took off from there, and I flew to Winnipeg, and then eventually up to Resolute, which is the northernmost airport that you can go where they can actually land. And it has a gravel runway because the permafrost would break up any concrete. So it's all gravel. And then we landed there, and then we had to wait for the weather. So it was weather contingent. So then we're hanging out there, and it was in this big, what's called like a Quonset hut, great big building. And the sun was up 24 hours a day. So this is in May. And so it's snow everywhere. So it's brilliantly bright outside all the time. So we got aluminum foil and taped it to the window so it would be dark enough to sleep. And but then you don't know what time it is because it doesn't get dark. But then I came out, and there's this, you know, people that were going on our trip. We're all talking, and we're sitting down. We're all talking. And someone says, "What time is it?" And someone looks at us, it's 3 a.m. We go, oh, wow. So anyway, and then there was a bunch of women going too, and we were talking with them also. They're going on their own trip to the North Pole. So anyway, then it came time to go, and we had to be ready, you know, to go. So ready, we jump on the plane, and it takes off, you know, and we're flying. And I was very much into adventure. When I was a boy, I read all these adventure novels. Yeah. And we're flying along, and I look out the window, and all you can see, there's no roads, no cities or villages or anything. It's all ice and snow and mountains and everything as far as you can see. And I go, wow, this is an adventure for sure. Oh, cool. So then we flew up to a place called Eureka Weather Station. So there's a weather station up there where we could refuel. And so we landed there, and then refueling. But then they said, well, the weather's changed, and we can't go until there's a blizzard up there. We can't go till the blizzard's over. So then we stayed there and hung out. And then there were people that lived there, and made friends with some of them. And they said, well, we're going out to the iceberg. And so there's a fjord, you know, a water channel that was all frozen, and there was an iceberg frozen in it. And they don't have anything to do up there. So they make up stuff. So they said they're going to go out to the iceberg. So I went with them, and they had a half track that was enclosed, and they went out to the iceberg, and we chipped out off pieces of the iceberg and stuff. So that was just something to do, and came back. And so we're waiting around, and finally it's time to go. So we load on the plane and take off, and we're flying, out. First there's land that has ice and stuff on it, and mountains. And then we get out over sea ice, and that's flat. But there are cracks in it in different places. And then we're flying. And we went up to a place called, I think it was Keltina. Anyway, we landed there, and it was a much smaller location. They refueled there. Then we took off, and now we really got up there, and we're flying along. And eventually there was the group of people, including the guy that I talked to on the phone originally. They were there, but the ice was moving, and so they didn't make it to the North Pole. So we landed to pick them up, to kind of rescue them. And we loaded the dog sleds and dogs on the plane. And then we all took off, and the dogs are there, but they're real mellow. And they go they're like huskies, you know, and they're under the seats, and we're flying along. And we go up to the North Pole, and, but the problem, and we're going to land, but the guy said it's too foggy. There was fog near the ground. He said, there's nobody there to guide us. We have to visually see the surface of the ice to land. So we couldn't land. So we had to go back to the the station, and we went back there. And so then I talked to the dispatcher, and she says, "Don't worry, I'll get you on another plane. Don't worry, just don't talk to me, don't bother me any. I'll get you on the plane." So then I'm just hanging out there, and it's cold outside, but inside it's nice and warm. So waiting. So finally another flight is ready to go. So I get on with these guys, and this one man had walked to the North Pole with a St. Bernard, and then his friends were going to pick him up. And so, and also they said, this is the magnetic North Pole, and that's actually where I wanted to go, because I wanted the magnetic lines of force to flow through the peace grid. Okay. And they said, this where you were going before was the before was the geographic North Pole, where the axis goes around, but this was the magnetic, which is exactly right. So we landed there. They went off and talked to their friend, and I walked out. And then let's see, I put the peace grid on the snow, and then I knew though that we were on ice that was about 6 feet thick, and so I made a float. Because they said in a month or two later, all the ice breaks up. Anything you leave there will float down to the bottom of the ocean, 14,000 feet. So I made a float system so it would gently float down, to the bottom. And I set that up. I dug a hole and put the float all nicely set up there. And then I took pictures and I buried it. And then...
is this the picture you just shown us before? The picture we are loading when we send Reiki to the Reiki grid?
It's actually this one over here. Yeah, so let me see if I can turn.
Yeah, thank you.
Let's see if we can do this.
Okay,
see the small picture.
Yeah, I've got it.
It's that one.
So much.
That's one at the North Pole. Yeah.
And so, if I'm correct, so you had the second one in the South Pole, then one in Jerusalem, and two in your training center in the US, and one in Kurama. Am I right?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah. So, what happened is I'm flying back, and I think, I did it. I feel so great. I did it. I put it up there. It's fantastic. Then this little voice says, "It's not balanced." I go, no, it's good. It's North Pole. It's fine. It's fine. But it keeps going. It's not balanced. So then I think the South Pole, I go, okay, I'll have to go to the South Pole. So then I call the same group, and they have another group going down there. So we went down to the South Pole, and that's Antarctica, the Antarctic continent. And so we landed there, and then eventually went right to the South Pole. And then I walked away from there, and then I buried in the snow there. And every year there's 3 more inches of ice and snow. So, by now it's embedded actually in solid ice. And, at the South Pole. So I left that one at the South Pole. And then I was teaching a class, and someone came here from Jerusalem, and he took 1 and 2. He went back. He wanted me to come to Israel to teach. So I went there, and then he took me on a trip to the old city of Jerusalem. And as we approached it, I could feel the aura of the old city was so potent and so pure. It had this extremely pure, very high level, and it's so powerful. We walked into the old city and walking around, and I'm thinking, wow, this is amazing. And I'm thinking, I need to leave a peace grid here. So I had no idea how to do it, but I wanted to teach in the old city too. So then after I left, then my sponsor knew a man that owned an art gallery in the old city of Jerusalem. Okay. And we talked it over, and he said, yes, you can come and you can teach. And my sponsor said, would art gallery work? And then my brain goes, yes, because I knew I could leave the peace grid in his art gallery as a piece of artwork, and it would be in the old city and it would be protected. So that was perfect. So then I did start going there. I taught about 6 classes there, and then I left the peace grid on the wall in his art gallery. So it's at an art gallery in the old city of Jerusalem. So I left one there.
Amazing. We want to go there and see it. It's amazing. So we have this network, huh? And can you tell me a little bit how this energetical network works? By the way.
So each of there's, like you say, North and South Pole, Jerusalem, and there's one here, and there's one on Maui, and there's one in the temple. It's actually in the main temple on Mount Kurama.
Amazing.
Now, let me tell you about that one too. How I got that one done. Yeah. So I had one made, and I sent it to a friend in Japan, and she speaks Japanese. So she went to the head monk of Kurama Monastery, and then showed it to him, and he was very excited because he said their monastery is for world peace, and that this would be perfect. So he kept it, and he put it into their main temple. So then just this, in March, I went there, and we talked to him, and he was quite excited. We had an interpreter, and he was quite excited to meet me, and so happy and thankful that I had brought it. And then he said it's in the sacred area of the main temple, but if I want, he would go get it, because no one can go back there. You go get it. And so he got it. And so out in the area of the main temple where people can go, then we got pictures taken of it. So now we have a photo of the one in Kurama also.
Wow, that's amazing. So great you did that. It's amazing.
Yeah, and that was the last one. So then it's all done. Okay. So
unbelievable.
The way this works is the middle Wednesday of each month, then everyone is asked if they will meditate on the picture of the peace grid and send Reiki to charge all the peace grids that have been placed around the world. And so each month we get thousands of people. There was, I think, 400,000 downloads of the picture. So we know there's quite a few people meditating and sending. And so when you do that, when you send Reiki to the photo, you like a type of special peace comes over you, because it's helping you to be peaceful too. And at the same time, your Reiki is charging up the peace grids. So we do that each month on the middle Wednesday at 7:30 in your time zone. So you can go on our website and see the exact, it's generally the middle Wednesday, and we've got a list of the dates. And so you can join in that meditation.
I will add the link below the video, dear viewers. You can click on the link below the videos and you go directly to Williams Lee Rand's website, of course.
Oh, great. Nice.
Oh, good. Of course. Thank you. Thank you. Thank
Wonderful.
you very much. So, William, it was so great to be with you. You're very busy, so I'm happy that we were able to do this interview together. Thank you so much. Thank
you're
you
welcome.
so much. And, we have a tradition in my YouTube channel. We ask a question to the viewers. Do you want to ask a question to our viewers?
I would say, what can you do to create world peace?
Thank you so much. Thank you, William. Thank you very much. Thank you to you that following this video. We will follow this guidance. We'll continue to pray, meditate, and work hardly for world peace. Thank you, William. See you.
Thank you, Gautier. Yes, you're welcome.